Could I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
Make a motion.
Have a motion, have a second.
Second.
A motion, second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved. I need a motion to approve the minutes of November the 11th, 2014.
So moved.
Have a motion, a second.
Second.
Have a motion, second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Under section 4, recognition, A, the schools with the highest percentage of attendance, Mr. Carter.
St. Charles Elementary has the highest percentage of attendance for November with 94.6%. Jonesville Middle came in second with 94.3%. So I'd like to congratulate those schools, and our trophy will go to St. Charles Elementary this month.
Will you continue, Mr. Carter, please?
We have some students from Pennington Middle School that we wanted to recognize for some small narratives that they had published in the Kingsport Times News. That's Derek Hamilton, Anna Alsop, Zachary Hammonds, Hunter Stewart, Kelsey Vandegrift, Brady Garrick, Dakota Wagers, Taylor Morgan, Michaela Elkins, and Ashlyn Lee. Mackenzie Johnson from Pennington Middle School also had her artwork published in the Kingsport Times. We just want to recognize those students and congratulate them for their efforts. Lee County Spelling Bee winners. First of all, we want to recognize the winners from each school. Dryden Elementary, Tyler Garwood. Elton Knob Elementary, Asia Parsons. Elydale Elementary, Alden Muncie. Flatwoods Elementary, Noah Cavan. Jonesville Middle School, Jason Cowden. Pennington Middle School, Tatum Harville. Rose Hill Elementary School, Jackson Long. St. Charles Elementary School, Johnny Satterfield. And Thomas Walker High School, Jasmine Brewer. Our county spelling bee was held here on December the 11th, and our winner for the county that will represent the county is Alden Muncie from Elydale Elementary School. Our first runner-up was Tatum Harville from Pennington Middle School, and the second runner-up was Jackson Long from Rose Hill Elementary School, and we'd like to congratulate all those students for their winnings and being the school spelling bee champion.
Thank you. Under section 5, public expression, this is the time that you are allotted to come before the board and express any concerns you have. Anyone want to take advantage of that? Being none, we'll move on to section 6 under the report portion of the agenda. Under A, the VSBA Capital Conference and Orientation, January 26th and 27th, 2015. Mr. Carter.
Just wanted to inform the board that the Capital Conference will be held January the 26th and 27th, and orientation for new chairman and vice chairman will be held on January the 27th. Those that may be interested in participating.
Under B, VSBA survey for doctoral student, Mr. Carter.
We have a doctoral student from Shenandoah University in Winchester that is seeking the board's participation in a research study by completing a survey. And basically you have the letter there informing you that you received the survey through the Virginia School Boards Association, and just asking that we encourage you to participate in helping conduct that survey for the research. So each board member should be receiving that letter.
Any comments? Under C, the Appalachian Official Association.
We just have a copy of the signed contract with the Appalachian Officials Association for officiating services for this coming school year, or for this school year, I'm sorry. That's basically for the board's information.
we needed to amend that before I signed it and put a limit on how many fouls they can call. It's too late to do that.
We'll ask if we could revise the
That'd be great.
contract.
That'd be great.
Mr. Chair, I have or actually two questions.
Sure.
On page 3, Mr. Carter, number 13 there, it said that there will be an assignment fee of $40 plus an additional 10. Is that per high school, or is that total, or do you?
I am not sure. I don't want to tell you one way or the other, but I'll certainly be happy to check on
And
that for you.
I
Yes.
apologize, there's these two I should have caught last
Okay.
month, but, and on the next page 4, on page 4, it says statements or invoices shall be submitted to the school board, and then the school board shall promptly pay. Does that mean that the officials will be paid from here, or, I mean, that's the way I interpret it, or from the schools?
And I
Our
apologize.
attorney probably, since he drafted the contract, might be able to help answer that.
I don't have the contract in front of me, but working from memory and your comments, let me go backwards. The question with respect to payment, I think the school board has leeway as long as they're paid within the timeframes provided by the contract. The bills can be forwarded out to the individual schools if there's preference to do that, or paid centrally as the board may wish.
The schools pay the officials on the night that they officiate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I,
We can certainly do that way.
In knowing that.
If there's not a payment, then there's going to be an invoice sent out. But obviously, if there's an immediate payment, then there will be no invoices
Is that
sent out.
correct?
And that will wind up being a moot point. But if for some reason an official is not paid at the time services are rendered, that the contract governs that process. With respect to the fee, I believe that is a per sport fee.
Okay.
That was the manner in which it was bid by the AOA.
Refers to Exhibit A.
Thank you, Liz. School calendar, Ms. Doherty?
Mr. Carter, board members, I believe in your packet you have 3 calendars that were sent out for input, and with the summary coming back from the schools as to how they voted, just for your consideration, or if you have questions.
I've got a couple,
Okay.
Mr. Chair. The February 15th Professional Development Day, is that a potential optional in case we need to make up school, or is that going to be a mandatory?
We can fix it however you want to, however the board sees fit to do that, or recommendations.
Okay. I noticed also in the calendar 3 that March the 11th is nicely colored, but over there in the descriptor, it's like 1 week off. It says that the third quarter ends the 18th.
Okay, so I'm going to block off. I'll
Oh,
fix
okay.
that.
And then same thing in April too.
Okay.
I just I go by the color blocks, and
That's why I put that key for you,
Okay.
Ms. Jessie.
was there any consideration of like a fourth option of maybe similar to number 1, but with a 3-day spring break?
Actually, there was 3 calendars sent out. We can send out a 4th if you'd like.
And these 3 were developed with input. Principals were asked to get input from
Yes.
their staff and stakeholders to develop the 3 calendars that were sent out. But of course, we can revise them, send them back out again. And that's the reason we were just giving them to you this time, for you to look at under reports and not asking you to take action on them. So if there's any changes or adjustments you want to make, we'll be happy to do that.
When would you want to know on that? Immediately?
No, sir, whatever the board, whenever you'd like to have it.
Whenever.
I'd like to
We
get,
said-
personally, I'd like to get kids out of school in May. I don't like going in June. If we have to make up any days, we're going to be winding up in June.
Are you proposing a fourth calendar?
Yeah, all of them in.
No, I think she just said that if we wanted one, and Miss Jessie said something about possibility of doing it.
And what you want on the fourth one?
Well, similar to number one, except just a 3-day spring break, like the other two calendars.
So you just want spring break changed on number one?
Well, yes.
Okay.
What was your turnaround time, Connie, on this?
I've been working on this since September. And I've asked,
The reason I asked, because you have 121 people didn't vote one way or the other, so.
and the thing that the input that I got from them on that is it really doesn't matter. But
Until we put a calendar out.
I've asked for input 4 different occasions. And even at that, I even had the principals sign a sheet that all have had the opportunity to vote and have input.
Well, maybe they'll vote on 4, 5, or 6 then.
Thank you, Connie, for this.
So one more
So with
calendar.
that, I'm happy with 2, but if that's what they want, you can throw that at us next month and we'll vote on it next month. Is that good?
Do it.
Let me make sure we're clear on this. What you're asking is the calendar number one be changed to spring break to Thursday,
No,
Friday,
in
Monday.
addition, a number 4.
Number 4
But
would
with
change
just-
this
yeah,
to Thursday,
like-
Friday, Monday.
Right.
Okay. Like the other two.
Like the other two.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Enrollment, Mr. Carter?
Enrollment at the end of November was 3,131 students. That is no change from last month, down 70 students from this same period last school year.
Any questions, comments? Denise, please.
This is a summary of our financial activity for the month of November. Our revenue for the month totaled $2,541,894.50. Our revenues year-to-date totaled $12,957,959.64. As of November 30th, we had received 33.01% of our estimated revenues for the year. Our expenditures for the month of November totaled $3,463,661.88. And our total expenditures year-to-date totaled $10,399,730.12. As of November 30th, we had used 26.28% of our appropriations for the year. We did also have our supplemental appropriation approved for the school security grant, and that has been added to the appropriations in the budget, in the financial statement.
Any questions? Thank you. Under 7, the action agenda items. A, consider approval to update the division-wide 2010-2016 Lee County Public Schools Comprehensive Plan. Mr. Carter.
Mr. McCann has actually worked to update our comprehensive school plan. He was unable to be here tonight, so actually what the update includes is their status as the accreditation and whether or not the schools have met their AMOs, and then any progress that we've made on the goals and objectives through the plan.
Questions, comments?
Just a couple, and you may or may not be able to answer.
Okay.
But I've noticed on page 26 that it said that they were giving writing tests in grade 5. Isn't that one of the SOLs that was
Deleted, yes.
And also on page 25, the economic and personal finance class, I don't think, other than possibly at Thomas Walker and only for this year, kind of as a transition, that is no longer being taught in 9th grade.
That's correct.
That
The
those-
personal, yes.
Mhm,
So we'll
those-
correct those.
mhm.
A motion to approve with the corrections.
So moved.
Have a motion to approve, have a second.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. That is approved. Under B, consider the approval of the resolution concerning the funding of public education in Virginia. Mr. Carter.
The Virginia School Board Association and the Virginia Association of School Superintendents are joining in an effort to try to amplify their voices to the General Assembly about the need for the General Assembly to invest appropriately in public education. They have developed a funding resolution, and they're asking that school boards across the state adopt the resolution in support of the additional funding request from the General Assembly in the month of December. So we have that resolution for your consideration.
Any discussion?
I make the motion that we accept it.
We have a motion to accept, kind of a second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Resolution is approved. Under C, consider the revision to the local policy LC G14. Mr. Hobbs.
Yes, sir. Mr. Harbert, members of the board, you'll find in your package a redraft of local policy LC-G14. This local policy on the first page near the bottom, it's the second heading from the bottom of the first page, adds a section addressing the school nurse workday. Recommend the board go ahead and approve this. Be glad to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
There's a revision also on the next page I would suggest, and I'll make that as part of the motion to accept it with a revision of making directors singular director, since we just have one of facility maintenance and transportation, and delete there.
And that's in the final paragraph, not dealing with school
Yeah,
nurses.
that's my,
Final heading, sorry.
Have a motion to approve, please.
so moved.
Have a motion and a second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Right.
It is approved. Under D, consider approval to revise policy GCBE, the family leave fixed 12-month period for July 1, June 30th. Mr. Carter.
I have actually the first couple pages of this policy, CGBE. It's rather a lengthy policy, but at the bottom of the second page is what we're asking the board to consider, making the change with the year, the 12-month period under the Family Medical Leave Act. Right now, we have a rolling 12-month period, and that's a little bit difficult. And if you look on your fact sheet, that's actually number 4 on the fact sheet. It's difficult for you to kind of figure that rolling 12-month period. It's a 12-month period measured backward, and of course you got some charts that kind of show you how we have to do that. We're asking the board at the beginning of the next school year to change that to a fixed 12-month period and let it run concurrently with the school year, July 1 through June 30th.
Any discussion? Have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. That is approved. Field trips, Mr. Carter.
We have 2 field trip requests, one of them from Thomas Walker High School. Actually, it's a little ways off, but they need to be planning for that. It's in July of 2017. The destination, of course, is New Zealand, Australia, and Fiji, so they would like some direction from the board on that so they can be making plans and preparations. The other field trip is from Lee County Career and Technical Center to Virginia Beach to participate in the state technical competition.
Discussion. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a second? Have a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those trips are approved. Need a motion to pay the bills.
Make a motion.
Have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Have a motion, second. All in favor, say aye. Under the reports and recommendations of the board, Mr. Twig.
Yes, Mr. Chair. To reiterate on what I talked about last month about our dire situation at with our buses, and I've been up to the bus shop, and we are really getting in desperate need. I mean, we have engines going bad, and the buses are getting in pretty rough shape. And I mentioned to Mr. Carter earlier, and I think with the board's approval, we have in the budget approved to purchase 2 buses this year, and I would just like to, with the board's approval, to at least get one of those buses ordered and on the way, and I think maybe we need to look at some ways to help them, other ways to help them financially, because I think they're going to have to be replacing some engines and so forth. And I think that our transportation is very, very critical, you know, especially during the winter months that we're approaching, and I just think the buses need to be in the best condition that we can possibly put them in. That's all I have.
Do we need to revise the agenda to vote on that?
Well, it's actually, you've already approved it, it's in the budget, it's
What do
just that
you- what do you
usually we
need
try to
to go
wait.
ahead?
We usually try to wait a little bit toward the end of the year to kind of see where we're at financially to make sure that we can afford them, but Mr. Twig is correct, we are getting desperate.
Can we get one?
And in addition to that, we think we're going to be able to get an additional bus. I think, Dr. Adams, has that been approved? And
It has been approved.
we're going to be able to get an additional bus with Head Start funds this year. So it's possible we may be able to go ahead and purchase 2 of those buses, because we may be able to purchase 3 altogether. We have 2 budgeted. Head Start has gotten approval to purchase a bus, so we may be able to go ahead and order 2 with.
Can we move ahead on at least one of those?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's move ahead on at least one.
We can.
And we need the directive
Yeah.
on how to, whether we give the money, write the check to the school board, or whether we do an invoice.
Denise can probably, we may need to check with our auditors to see how the best way to proceed with that, so we can give her a chance to check on that.
So
Thank
we-
you so much, by the way. That will help out a lot.
Excuse me.
So we can move ahead with actually 2, you're saying?
Well, I'm saying we may be able to go ahead and move ahead with 2, for us to go ahead and purchase 1 of the ones that we had budgeted, plus another one that Head Start is going to be able to fund, so we may be able to purchase 2 at midterm here.
Make that motion, needs to do that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Twig. Jesse?
First thing I'd like to mention was about the spelling bee. It was a very exciting, it was 35 rounds this time?
33.
33 rounds. I was here for only 6 rounds of it. I wanted to get up to Lehigh and hear the chorus, but it was extremely exciting, and I hated to leave. And I wish the spellers luck when they go on to Knoxville. Brought up that at the last meeting, Mr. Carter, something was said about why we can't use vans. Would you explain, is that our insurance company, or is that state law?
Well, it's both. It's actually law that we cannot use the vans to transport students in. Actually, you can't even use an SUV to transport students in. So, in addition to it being an insurance regulation, it's also a law that we can't do that.
I just had a question on
Okay.
that. And as we're beginning to go into our holiday season, I know some of our surrounding school systems are paying companies millions of dollars to try to get electricity turned off in the schools. Just a suggestion to pass that word around to save even more money by not paying a company to tell us to turn off all their electricity, to pull the cords on everything we can. Of course, we don't want pipes to freeze or anything on that, but, and a question about, have either Mr. Dean or you heard anything from our insurance consultant?
Yes. I don't, Mr. Dean has spoken with him, but I spoke with him just the other day, and he is working on our.
Well,
yeah.
considering some of the
Right.
proposals that he was considering, I thought we really need to kind of start working on that.
He is working on it. I just
Okay.
spoke with him this past week.
Okay. Okay. That's all, oh, other than wishing our employees and students and everybody else happy holidays.
Mr. Chapman?
I want to congratulate all the spelling bee winners, and the overall winner was from Uadale, and I had third place was from Rose Hill, which is from my district, so I really want to put this plug for them. And I would like to have them here at the next board meeting, if we could, the overall winner,
Okay.
or all of them, if you like. I think they need to be recognized personally.
The school winners or just
Would be all
just about all of them? Okay.
Invite them.
Okay.
We will do. That's all.
Ms. Williams?
Merry Christmas to everybody. That's it.
Mr. Chair, would you read us back into executive session, please?
I move that we go into executive session to consider student disciplinary section 2.2-3711A, 2, pending and threatened litigation section 2.2-3711A7, and personal section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia.
Have a motion, have a second.
Get Lucas.
Have a second. Have a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Uh,